And we are live. Welcome to the process. It is Monday, May 10th. Big day for me. I am Josh Engleman. I am here to break down the final 6-game Monday slate we've got. I don't know why I said it like that, but it's the end of the regular season for the NBA. This is the final week, and we're going to be working our way through a relatively easy Monday. Tomorrow, on the other hand, not so much. I think we've got 11 games on the docket. That's going to be not ideal, but got to do it. That's the point of this. We're going through every game. We're going through every team. We're breaking down rotations. We're figuring it all out for today. I hope everybody had a good weekend. Hope you guys found some success. I did get tagged in a bunch of stuff for people picking up W's. So shout out to the Awesemo Hall of Fame. But yeah, this is the home stretch, and heading into the playoffs, at least for the play-in and for the early playoffs, we're going to keep this going. Process show might look a little bit different. I don't entirely know where that's going to go, but we're going to keep doing contenders videos and just keep it all. I'm just going to be fully focused on the NBA. So this doesn't appear to be going anywhere anytime soon. So be ready for that. Now, obviously, for the playoffs, the process show is just different. Like we don't have to worry really about wild changes to rotations. We're going to know what's going on pretty firmly. But NBA content is not slowing down, I promise. Anything else? What else do we have to touch on? Abel, you got engaged last weekend. Awesome. That's sick. Congratulations. That's really awesome. So happy for you. Thank you to everybody that's already here. 40 plus viewers, 30 likes. You guys do a fantastic job of hitting that thumbs up right out of the gate. I see tons of coffee cups and stuff. It's good stuff. It was another good weekend. Hopefully we don't get any I don't get any hail for the strategy show again like I did on Friday. Gerald, I will not be on Live Before Lock tonight. I am on Live Before Lock this week, Tuesday and Wednesday. Normally, I am on Live Before Lock Mondays and Wednesdays, but I am switching today because today is my anniversary, and I'm going out to dinner with the wife. So I will not be around tonight. Once I'm done the strategy show, that's it for me today. I will be offline. Too much going on. Oh, it was a nice weekend this weekend. Did a little bit of Mother's Day festivities. Hung out with some friends. Gorgeous weather. It was good stuff. Gerald, thank you so much. Thank you. I appreciate that. Thank you to everybody. I know it's probably about to roll it. There it is. Yeah. Thank you to everybody. I appreciate it. 7 years today. It's been a good time. So shout out to the wife. She's still sleeping. She's lucky. JCW with the super chat. Got 7th in the $20 on DK. $1,500 win on the day. Been doing a ton better since I started watching the process and the Awesemo stuff. 1 week to go. That's awesome. $1,500 feels good, man. It really does. That's congratulations. We got more than a week too. Don't worry. We're not going anywhere for the playoffs. We'll be here. This doesn't change. We got to keep looking at basketball. So I think it's about that time. I think we should just dive in, get these 6 games done and dusted. So I've got my coffee. I hope that you guys have your coffee or water, cigarette, joint, bong. I don't know how you start your day, but we all started together. So rise and grind, everybody. Cheers. Good morning. Let's start the day off right. That right there is tasty. That is very tasty. Oh, yeah, I'm excited for the NBA playoffs, man. This is going to be some. It's going to be some good basketball, particularly whatever 1 or 2 series end up looking pretty wild in the first round, and then second round on is just going to be. It's going to be intense. It is going to be very, very intense. All right, let's get into it. We're pretty used to this kind of start by now. The Atlanta Hawks kicking it off at home against the Washington Wizards, which we know is 2 things. 1, it's a very high-paced game. And 2, I think I put 1 up from the beginning. You guys can't see my fingers. 2, we got to deal with Russell Westbrook. And this guy's probably just going to go for 900 fantasy points today. So we're starting Atlanta off with Tony Snell questionable, DeAndre Hunter questionable. Okay. What do we got going on here? Recently got through a full contact 5-on-5 practice, which means he's close to a return. That is very interesting. That is very, very interesting. I'm going to assume that he is back, which I don't think that he plays all that much, but he's very, very important to Atlanta. John Caples with the super chat. I wish I could put Curry, Westbrook, and Sabonis all in the same lineup today. We'll see how that looks when we get to the end of it all. If they can get Hunter back for some minutes, that's really big time. We'll see if that actually works out for them. I'm going to sneeze. I already feel that coming. Stotex, good to have you. Also, shout out to Ethereum being over 4K. Bam! Got to sneeze. It's right here. I can feel it at the tip of my nose, which obviously means that I can feel it a lot because I got quite the beak. I think I sniffed it back in. That's a shame. A good sneeze in the morning is invigorating. I don't really think I have much else to change here. Capella in for 31 minutes seems fine. Okongwu just gets that sort of single rotation. Lou Will, all this stuff looks pretty good. Looks pretty good. So let's take a look at Atlanta. Oh boy, am I over? No, I don't think I am. I really like this Trae Young. Trae Young, 1.32 fantasy points per minute over the past 30 days. I've got him at 1.34. That seems reasonable. Yeah, so I like Trae Young a lot on FanDuel at 8,400. This is a perfect spot for him. Clint Capella at 7,700 on FanDuel looks solid. John Collins is in play, but nothing too crazy. I actually do feel like I have him over projected a bit. But in the grand scheme of things, I might not. Either way, Trae Young, FanDuel, or DK. DK is different because he's 9,300, but because of the 3-point bonus, it helps him out a little bit. I'm very, very fond of this Atlanta team. No surprise taking on Washington. But yeah, let's keep it moving. Atlanta just looks good. And if DeAndre Hunter is back, that is going to help them tremendously as they move closer to the playoffs. Cleveland Cavaliers. What do we got going here for Cleveland today? Where are they hiding? There we go. Darius Garland, doubtful. Chetty, questionable. Isaiah Hartenstein, questionable. Lamar Stevens, questionable. Okay. Well, let's figure this one out. What do we know about Chetty? So he didn't play. He was doubtful yesterday. He gonna play today? That kind of matters. I'm gonna axe Chetty for today. And then no Hartenstein, so we're gonna give minutes to Anderson Varejao, I guess. Because he's in the NBA again for reasons I don't understand. But he is definitely in the NBA. We'll give Broderick Thomas 24 minutes. Dean Wade is going to play an absolute ton. Damian Dotson's good for 20. That should be, what, 8? Yeah. We get Dean Wade up to 32 with all of these guys out. And then Jeremiah Martin? Is that probably who needs to get more run here? Varejao, Jared Allen. So they're playing one of those guys at the 4. I guess it's Kabengele. So we're going to give him 12 minutes. We're going to give him 10 minutes. We're going to give Jeremiah Martin 10 minutes. I don't think it's going to matter all that much. Cleveland hosting Indiana. So it's obviously a great matchup, but at the same time, I mean, who are we like? We're going to actually like parts of this game, which is gross. Like really, truly gross. Look at this Cleveland team. So we're rostering Cleveland here. And Jared Allen for 6,800 on FanDuel looks pretty good. Dean Wade is $200 above the minimum. He played 29 minutes yesterday. That looks good to me. Colin Sexton looks solid at 7,500. Even on DraftKings, Dean Wade is $400 above the minimum. Looks good. Jared Allen. You got to fill out with Cleveland, unfortunately. The matchup against Indiana is just too good. 6.5 point dogs still isn't even all that crazy. So depending on how that news breaks, I mean, you're going to be getting to Jared Allen, Dean Wade, Colin Sexton. They're going to be 10 to 15 percenters at least. I did not expect to like much from Cleveland waking up today, but that is clearly not the case. Matchups are huge in the NBA. 84 viewers, 50 likes. That's a good Monday. We're starting this one off perfectly, guys. And by the way, you guys can see the banner at the top of the screen. Shout out to Monkey Knife Fight for being the presenting sponsor of this show. Use the promo code Awesemo, AWESEMO. Get yourself a 100% instant match deposit bonus of up to $100 when signing up. If you deposit $50, they will match with 50. If you deposit 100, they will match with 100. If you deposit 200, they will still only give you 100. You can get up to 100. That's free money. And if you don't like free money, you guys haven't been listening to me long enough. So get that free money, go to Monkey Knife Fight, use that promo code. Golden State Warriors at home taking on the Utah Jazz. No Oubre, no Wiseman, no Pascal, no Damian Lee. No new news for Golden State. We know what we're getting here. 27 minutes out of Looney. That works for me. 36 minutes out of Draymond. That works for me. 36 minutes out of Steph. That works. Juan Toscano-Anderson, about 30 minutes. That sounds good. Jordan Poole saw 33 minutes and 26 minutes the last 2 times out. Mulder is now getting a bit of a haircut. Bazemore did as well. I'm going to take him down by 3 minutes. Give those to Jordan Poole. We're going to take 1 minute there, give it to Juan Toscano Anderson. Jeffrey, it's still free if you have to pay to get it. Still free. Still free. Golden State. Now, this is obviously a difficult spot. Taking on Utah is rarely a prize. However, I think Steph looks okay at 10-3. Looks okay at 10-5. Looks better at 10-5 on DraftKings. But I think we're going to be lucky enough to have a slate where we don't have to feel too bad about not getting to Steph. So we've got Atlanta, we've got Cleveland, and we've got Golden State. And I assume, yeah, this is no-brainer here. Yeah, Trae Young is at the top of the heap on FanDuel by miles and miles and miles. Dean Wade is up there as value. Jared Allen looks good for 6,800. Clint Capella, Colin Sexton, that's the core. But Trae Young is very clearly at the top of the heap taking on Washington. But it's early yet. For example, we've got to talk about Houston. And this team is preposterous. So obviously no Kevin Porter, no Avery Bradley, no Sterling Brown, no DJ Wilson, no Eric Gordon. Olynyk and Wood are questionable. So we got 4 bodies here, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So they've got 10, potentially 10 active, as little as 8. This should be great. This should be super intuitive. All right, let's just start from scratch. So let's think this through. House, Tate, Olynyk, Wood. I have to assume that Olynyk and Wood are playing. That's just got to be spot number 1. So 34 minutes to Christian Wood. 34 minutes for Kelly Olynyk. That's step 1. That part is easy. Jayshawn Tate, I assume, is playing like 30 minutes. I'm just going to smack him down in the middle here. We'll keep it moving. Now, for the rest of these guys. So this is where it starts to get complicated. DJ Augustine, I know, has been tumultuous in his minutes. 29 here, 18 here. I'm going to give him 20. That seems reasonable. Ooh. We'll find out, Ronald. We'll find out. All right. If House plays, he's played like 18 minutes each game. That's pretty simple to deal with. Oh, man. Kenyon Martin Jr. is just going to play a ton, right? Yeah, he's played 30 plus minutes in 5 straight. So we'll go something like that. So that leaves us 72 minutes left for Anthony Lamb, Armani Brooks, and potentially Kyrie Thomas. And Daquan Jeffries. Okay. So who actually gets the run? Jeffries has been north of 30 the past 3. So I feel like Jeffries is the first guy to get that run. I'm going to give him 30. Does Kyrie Thomas get time over Armani Brooks? That's where it really gets interesting. Or does he get time over whether it's Anthony Lamb or Armani Brooks? Figuring out that final trio is tough. I feel like Anthony Lamb is the guy that loses out here because they already have more than enough minutes at that position. Whereas Kyrie Thomas and Armani Brooks sort of fit what they need more. I think that Armani Brooks gets like 26 minutes. These aren't even at the right position anymore because I don't know what to do with this team. And then I don't know where these minutes are going to come from. I really don't. I really, really don't. I almost feel like Anthony Lamb doesn't get the time, but maybe it doesn't matter. I don't have any comfortability. I'm very, very uncomfortable with the minutes that I have projected for Houston. I don't have a lot of confidence here. Obviously, Wood and Tate and Olynyk are easy. I think Kenyon Martin Jr. is also pretty easy, but I think that it's a random number generator for the rest of these guys. So for Houston, we've got Christian Wood, 8,500 and 8,700. If he is in, that's the guy that I'm looking for, at least. Houston's on the road, taking on Portland, projected to get whooped. No surprises. Kelly Olynyk would be my 2. And I think these guys have big enough prices now that if Wood and Olynyk are in, we can largely ignore most of Houston, which makes me feel pretty good. I don't trust that team at all. At all. And now we got to hash out this Indiana team. Indiana Pacers, questionable tag on Brogdon, Q tag on Lamb. Yeah. Steven Silas doesn't have any confidence in those minutes either. I feel bad for him, man. What a raw deal coming in. All right, so let's figure this out. How long is Brogdon? Let's figure this out, because the Brogdon news is obviously a very huge piece here. Hasn't played yet in May. Haven't received any updates. I'm going to assume that he's not playing since we haven't heard anything. Because his last game was April 29th. So let's just assume that Malcolm Brogdon isn't playing, which means we're going to go back to whatever we think normal rotations are here. So Goga playing the backup center run. And Sabonis has just been playing 40 minutes a game over the past couple days. So we're going to give Goga 16 minutes. We're going to give Sabonis 38. Can't just go to 40. TJ McConnell to 24 minutes. All right. Let's take out... Oh, shit. I'm going to take out everybody else here. So we get McConnell in for 24 minutes. We're going to get Aaron Holiday in for, guess, 24 minutes. Who the hell knows? McBuckets is playing like 28 minutes a game. So let's do that. But first, we got to give O'Shea Brissett like 24 minutes. So let's go 24 here. 18 and 6 here. Karis LeVert would be up next. I think he's just playing 36, so let's get that in. And then we got to go to Justin Holiday, who I actually want to put in for 22 minutes. So now we have 32 minutes left over for either Edmund Sumner, which I guess it's definitely Edmund Sumner. Because I don't... Yeah, let's give Edmund Sumner 24 and then Keelan Martin 8. I think that's okay. Rates should all be the same, and they are. And these prices are going to be pretty high, but Indiana does have it's like a decent spot against Cleveland, I guess. So bonus 10-7 on FanDuel, 10-6 on DraftKings. Looks solid. Karis LeVert, 8,809K. Looks solid. Like, you're happy to face Cleveland, but by the way, that's all we're getting out of Indiana. I don't know how much I'm going to be getting to Sabonis or LeVert. Not the biggest Sabonis fan today or a LeVert fan today. They're going to rank pretty low. Like, Sabonis is down. I mean, Sabonis and Steph are both meh pay up options. They're like, okay, but nothing crazy. I would much rather go to Trae Young and Christian Wood. Maybe, well, saying much rather for Christian Wood is scary because I don't really know, but much rather go to Trae Young. Sabonis and Curry look a little bit better on DraftKings than they do on FanDuel. 112 viewers, 63 likes. Okay. Ratio is slipping a little bit. So if you've come in the last 15 minutes or so, if you don't mind hitting that thumbs up, it'll help us out a ton. Subscribe to the channel too. Just because we're coming to the end of the NBA season doesn't mean we're going away. You guys should absolutely stick around because we're going to be cranking out a ton of NBA playoff content. A lot of showdown stuff, single game stuff. That's going to pick up, and we'll be able to take a big focus on individual games. And luckily, we've been working through individual games for the past couple months now, so we'll be well versed in prepping for Showdown. Memphis Grizzlies. Grizzlies are at home taking on the Pels. No Grayson Allen, no Sean McDermott. Nothing crazy here, but they have been tightening their rotation a bit, and I think that is very important information. So we're going to go to 34 minutes on Ja Morant. Actually, we're going 35 minutes on Ja Morant and 13 to Tyus Jones. We're going to 30 minutes on Joval, 18 on Brandon Clark. Jaren Jackson Jr. played 25 minutes and 26 minutes the past two games. I'm going to give him 27 for today. And then we get slow-mo to 29. We've got Dylan Brooks he's back up into the high 30s. So let's go to 33 on Brooks. Desmond Bane played 21. Melton played 20. They gave run to Conchar. So I'm going to go to 22 on Melton and 26 on Bane. Actually, 24 on Bane. And then we'll get Conchar back in. Not that it matters. Rates all look the same. Or at least largely the same, but I should clean them up at least a little bit. 17.1, 19.8. Let's do that. So for Memphis against New Orleans, Ja Morant for 7,200 looking pretty good. Ja Morant for Memphis on DraftKings at 8,300 looking a little less good. Morant, Joval, Dylan Brooks all look basically the same on DraftKings relative to salary. On FanDuel, Morant is clearly a good play. I think Dylan Brooks is pretty clearly a solid play at 5K. Joval at 8K. Jaren Jackson at 5,500. Jaren Jackson can pop there at 5,500 for sure. He's just not going to immediately grade out well. It's very much just a GPP play. But if we add these guys back in, I think that'll be telling. Like we see Ja come in 5th. So Ja is in this little group with Jared Allen and Christian Wood. I like that little trio here. One of those guys is going to pop off. Next up, Milwaukee Bucks. This is a team to pay attention to this week because if they get locked into anything, we're going to see them sit a whole starting 5. But for right now, we have literally no injury news on the Milwaukee Bucks, which is great. I hope that they do come into the playoffs ultra healthy. I want to see what they got. I want them to show me what they've got. Brook Lopez for 26 minutes. Good. I mean, most of this is going to be spot on. Get my watch back on. 32 minutes for Drew. They're on the road taking on San Antonio. I mean, in theory, I can give him another minute. So let's go 33 to Drew. Take one off of Bryn Forbes. We'll go 33 to Giannis, even though That's probably not totally necessary. Take one off of PJ Tucker because it won't matter. We'll get 33 back onto Middleton. Then everything else should basically be the same. At which point, we're not really rostering anybody from Milwaukee except for Giannis Antetokounmpo. Giannis is 11-3 on FanDuel, 10-8 on DraftKings. I think he's still fine to get to 1.71 FanDuel points per minute for Giannis over the past 30 days. That's bonkers. That's the number one rate in the league, no matter, like, it's just crazy. So I don't mind getting the Giannis. I don't have any real interest in the rest of Milwaukee. They just don't look good at all today. Not working for me. Nolans, Pelicans. And then we only have 4 more teams to go. We are moving through this slate. This is coming off oddly less complicated than I was expecting. However, this should complicate it a little bit. Brandon Ingram. What do we know about his status? It's possible that he could play today. Let's look at playoff status to see what their odds are. Nope, they're not in the East. They should be, but they're not. All right, so they have a 10% chance of getting into the playoff right now. Look, Brandon Ingram might play. Watch Deeper Dive and Live Before Lock to see if that changes, but I can't go to it right now. What do we know about everybody else? We've got Q tag on Steven Adams, Q tag on Nickeil Alexander-Walker. Any update on either of those guys? Adams didn't play yesterday. Nickeil did come back, played 21 minutes. All right. So, do we think Adams plays? I'm going to say no for right now. I think that makes a little bit more sense. So, we're going to go 26-22 for Hayes and for Willie Cauley-Stein. We're going to go 28-20 here for James Johnson and Wenyen Gabriel. Wes Iwundu, good. Najee Marshall played 28 minutes. That's fine. 32 for Bledsoe. 16 for Nickeil Alexander-Walker, I think is okay. 36 on Lonzo. Maybe we'll go take him to 34. Give him 2 more. So this is obviously going to be pretty important from a rate perspective. Who are we looking at here for the Pels? Lonzo Ball, 7,900 on FanDuel, 8K on DraftKings would be my top option. I guess James Johnson works as value, but I thought that these guys would pop more, and they don't. Very surprising. Very, very surprising. We're not going to have much highly ranked for New Orleans here. I guess Lonzo's pretty highly ranked on DraftKings. Wait. Weird. Yeah, that looks fine. Lonzo looks solid. James Johnson on FanDuel, but there's just not a lot to like for the Pels here. Not really. Surprising. Very surprising to me. Now, Portland, on the other hand, Jerry, they should get rid of Brandon Ingram in the offseason. I would take whatever they can get for him. Not a great fit. Oh, man. All right, let's figure out Portland because I think this one's going to matter. At home against Houston. And if this game happens to stay even remotely close and Dame can get a full run, good God, it's going to be big. So for Portland, Q tag on Melo. And then that's it. So I'm thinking we go with this the same sort of stuff we always go with for Portland. Rotations don't really change all that much. Nurk, Cantor, Nurk, Cantor. Yeah, okay. Is Nas Little playing? He is, sorta. We'll do something like that. Dame or CJ? What is the answer for today? CJ at 7,600 on FanDuel is the answer there. On DraftKings, I think they're equal. CJ at 7,800, Dame at 9,700. They both look really good. I would lean towards CJ over Dame right now. Norm Powell looks okay, but he's been so bad. And then I think Covington works okay as just like a GPP flyer. But if the game stays even remotely close, you're going to want to have some Portland. San Antonio Spurs. All right, we're getting close to the time where we're going to be running some optimals. We're lagging a little bit on likes here, only at 78. We need to get that number north of 100. All right, no Derek White, no Trey Lyles. That's not news for San Antonio. So most of this should look the same. Let's figure it out. Patty Mills, all good here. Playing about 22 minutes a game. Lonnie Walker, definitely the guy that we need to give a little bit of a bump to. Walker's played 28 and 33 over the past couple, so I'm going to get him up a little bit more. We got 22 minutes for Rudy Gay. That's standard fare. Keldon Johnson at 29 should be fine. 28 minutes for Jakob Poeltl seems fine. I'll go 16 and 29, 3 and 19. That should work for San Antonio. And it's pretty much the same scenario that we always have for San Antonio. Spurs are taking on the Bucks. Not the best spot for them, but DeMar DeRozan and DeJounte Murray are the two pieces you want the most. DeJounte Murray in particular, that mid-sevens price tag, I wonder if he gets slept on today. Like, DeMar grades out a little bit better, 8,200 and 7,900, but they're not all that separated, and I think dropping down could be fine if you just need to free up a little bit of salary. Keldon Johnson is whatever. Nothing too crazy. Let's add Portland and San Antonio. We might need to start tomorrow's show right now. 11 games we got to break down tomorrow. That is going to be a chore and a half. Yeah, DeMar looking a little bit better than I was expecting. DeMar coming in, 6th on FanDuel, 3rd on DK. That's not too shabby. 2 games to go. Can't imagine we're getting much out of Utah here. Is anybody back? That's really the question. No and no. So same rotations as normal for the Jazz. On the Utah side, we know exactly how this shakes out. This is not a team that's throwing curveballs out in the final week of the season. So I don't even really need to take minutes from anywhere. I guess take 10 from Ersan Ilyasova, give them to anyone else. They're all the same guys. All the rates are going to be the same. It is a pretty good matchup for Utah, though, right? Yeah, at Golden State. Huge pace up spot. So Rudy Gobert for 7,900 is fixing to be one of my favorite options today. He's going to project very, very well. I don't mind getting to Ingles either. Ingles on DraftKings is my preferred option. But just adding this in, yeah, Rudy Gobert, number 2 play on FanDuel, basically tied with Trae Young. So the Rudy Gobert Trae Young combo, very important to me. I like that a lot. Rudy a little bit lower on DK, but we do see Joe Ingles creep into the top 10 at number 10. And now we close it out, guys. Final team, and we know what we're doing here, right? Washington Wizards on the road, taking on the Atlanta Hawks. And we don't have Bradley Beal. No Bradley Beal. No Denny Avdia. Let's make sure that we're getting the Russ rates with no Beal. And no Denny. And no Thomas Bryant. All right. So this is going to be truly insane. I'm giving him 40 minutes. I'm taking everybody else's minutes out. We need to start this from scratch. So Russ plays 40. Howell Neto gets the other 8 at point guard. That seems reasonable to me. He also then plays 22 minutes, and then that gives him 30. I think that all makes sense. Ish Smith, I think, just continues his normal run of like 22 minutes. The big man spot, Len, Gafford, and Lopez, these guys just chop time, right? We know what we're getting here. It's 16 minutes a game at all 3 of them. At the 4, Bertans is going to be playing 30 minutes, right? Yeah. Going to give him 30. We're going to give Rui 32. We're going to give Chandler Hutchison a little bit of run. Garrison Matthews a little bit of run. We'll do something like that. And I think we're in. But now we need new rates. And this is where things are going to get pretty wild. Russell Westbrook in 454 minutes with no Bradley Beal, Denny Avdia, and Thomas Bryant on the floor as a 34.5% usage rate. Assist rate goes up. Offensive rebound rate goes up. Defensive rebound rate goes up. So there's Russ in. Now we'll look at the rest of these guys. Bertans, 17.5. No real changes elsewhere. Howell Neto, 16% usage rate. No real changes there. Doesn't really do much else. Rui, 186 minutes, 21% usage rate. You do anything else? Does get some more boards. Gerald, not DVP is not something that we provide or look at. I'm going to assume that Alex Len and Daniel Gafford just keep their same usage rates. Ish Smith, 16.5, so he doesn't do anything either. All right, time to take a look at Washington. So Russell Westbrook is 12,400 on FanDuel. Still looks great. Russell Westbrook is 11K on DraftKings still, and he is unquestionably the best play on the slate. It is not close on DraftKings. Russ, the top play by almost the full rate of Dean Wade. I have him 5.2 points ahead of Dean Wade relative to salary. I have him 6.4 points ahead of Trae Young relative to salary. Play all the Russell Westbrook you can on DraftKings today. I have him. Let's see. So it's I have him with a 52.8% chance of going for 61 fantasy points. He's got a better than 50-50 chance of hitting his projection. That's nuts. That's just it. That's the spot today. Play all the Russ. On FanDuel, though, I would rather get to Trae Young at point guard than Russ at 12-4 because I think you're just going to be able to build out a better lineup. But you're still like Russ still looks good. He's 6th overall on FanDuel, but that 11K price tag is fully broken. Let's run some crunches, guys. We're at 92 likes. Let's see if we can get that number north of 100 before I click crunch. Should be fun. Let's move on over to Fantasy Cruncher. Bing, bang, boom. 6 games up, 6 games down. That was pretty easy, guys. What do we got here? All right, optimal lineup on FanDuel. Here we go. Optimal on FanDuel. Russell Westbrook, Trae Young, DeMar DeRozan, Dylan Brooks, Joe Ingles, Keldon Johnson, Davis Bertans, Dean Wade, and Rudy Gobert. So Russ makes the optimal on FanDuel. Ooh, gotta get this yawn out. 0.6 of a point less. You can go from DeMar DeRozan to Colin Sexton, and from Davis Bertans to James Johnson. Power rankings. What do we got going on for FanDuel for today? Yeah, there we go. Starting to stabilize now. Yeah, Trae Young going to be at the top. That does not shock me at all. We'll see all the rest of these pieces. I got to nerf Norman Powell. That just needs to happen. Yeah, for sure. Although 5,600, the price is getting there. All right, power rankings on FanDuel. Trae Young, Joe Ingles, Keldon Johnson, Dean Wade, Dylan Brooks, Ja Morant, Rudy Gobert, Norm Powell, Lonzo, CJ McCollum, DeMar DeRozan, Colin Sexton, Russell Westbrook, Bojan Bogdanovic. But yeah, Trae is quite clearly the top of the heap for me on FanDuel. Now, this is where the fun one comes in. DraftKings Optimal. What do we got going on? And how much does Russell Westbrook show up? This should be good. Because he's for sure in the regular optimal. I don't really think that there's much ambiguity there. Trae Young, DeAnthony Melton, DeMar DeRozan, Dean Wade, Jackson Hayes, Russell Westbrook, Davis Bertans, Joe Ingles. That is the optimal on DraftKings. You could drop down by 0.4 of a point. Mello in for Melton. And that's it, I think. Yeah. Yeah, Mello in for Melton. Wild. 3,700 for Melton on DraftKings. That is definitely worth rolling the dice if he gets a little bit of extra time. But we knew where Russ was going to be, that's for sure. Now let's see how much Russell Westbrook shows up. Whoops. Accidentally clicked the icon. Let's see how much Russell Westbrook shows up in the power rankings. Thanks for being here, Nate. Have a good day. All right, here we go. Power rankings. Yeah, this makes sense to me. $3,400 Dean Wade showing up at the top. Russ second. They are going to go hand in hand today. If Dean Wade needs to play north of 30 minutes based on some injuries for Cleveland. It's not great. You don't want him to get these, but if he's starting and playing 30 minutes, that's going to be a value piece, especially with his eligibility. Russell Westbrook, obviously the best pay-up option. DeMar DeRozan looks good. Davis Bertans looks good. Ingles, Trae Young, Keldon Johnson, DeJounte Murray, DeAnthony Melton, Kevin Love, Rudy Gobert, Giannis, Jackson Hayes, and Steph Curry. But yeah, Russ is that dude today, man. There's no real way around it. Just is what it is. He's no Beal. I mean, I'm sure today is the day that he busts, but this dude's going to play 40 minutes. He's going to give you 20, 20, and 20, and it's going to be insane. By the way, anybody that watched the strategy show yesterday, I told you the Lakers were going to win outright. 150 viewers. We're north of 100 likes. And at this point, guys, we're done. 6 up, 6 down. That's it. That's all we've got. It was an easy slate. We're going to take all that extra time from today. We're going to move that on over to tomorrow because that one's going to be a big one. 11 games, and I assume a lot of questionable stuff. But it'll be fun to break down with you guys in the morning. So make sure you're here bright and early, 6:30, because we're going to be going for 90 minutes tomorrow. Contenders videos will be out immediately after this. Strategy show at 10 a.m. with Laffy. And as I mentioned at the top of the show, then I am done. There won't be any sim updates or anything like that tonight. I'm just going to be away from the computer with the wife tonight. Hope you guys can understand on that one. But we'll be back grinding it out starting tomorrow. And again, as I mentioned at the top, NBA is not going anywhere for me. As long as you guys are going to continue to watch these shows, we're going to keep doing process shows for a while. Contenders aren't going anywhere at all for the playoffs. So long as those keep getting watched, I'm going to keep bringing all of the NBA content that I can until the moment that we can't. So thank you guys for being here. I appreciate it a ton. Thank you guys for hitting the like button and subscribing. Do it now if you haven't done it yet. We'll be back again tomorrow morning for another edition of The Process. Thank you guys. Have a good Monday. I'll see you tomorrow.